Hey, what's up, stringlings? I'm going to give you a quick tour of the guitar we're working on this year. This will be for my new Luanatar guitar project from the Goddess series. This is the Solo Music Gear PRK10. There's the label right there. Same guitar we won Guitar of the Year with last year. We're going to do a little bit of different work on this, but I'm going to just take you on a tour of it. It has, as you can see, a beautiful quilted maple top. It has a couple of little marks in it here, which actually aren't an issue. They're parallel on both sides because this edge is going to be quite a bit darker anyway when we do the staining. The body is mahogany. Flip it over here for you. As you can see, quite a nice mahogany body. I think this is 2 pieces, maybe 3. It doesn't matter. What we're going to do is, of course, oil finish on here. And we're going to upgrade some of the parts. Now, the parts themselves that come with it, they work great. They worked great on the original guitar, but we're going to play around a little bit more, I think, and see if we can really kind of level this instrument up. First and foremost, I have to say big shout out to PEGCITY Pickups. Chris supplied me with these Supernaut humbuckers. I've got a pair of them. I've added some arch top pickup rings that are actually flat on the top and arched on the bottom. They fit perfectly on the arch on this guitar. And I'm really looking forward to giving you a full review and tone test on these pickups when we get them installed. I think it's going to sound fantastic. Secondly, I want to give another shout out to Iron Age Guitar Accessories, who provided me with a bunch of really cool stuff. For starters, this is their Black Stealth kill switch, which is what they're sort of known for, is their kill switches. And we're using a battery pack. It's actually a thin style battery pack. Okay, which means even though they include in their kit these resistors, you don't need them because the output from these batteries, I'm not going to open this right now. Maybe I will. Let's see. There we go. So these are the CR 2032 batteries. Okay, they don't put out enough juice to fry the LED on the kill switch. So this one is blue. This is a blue LED, which is very cool. An on-off switch to control it. So they also include in the package when you buy it a stereo jack, which can act as your on-off switch. Okay, I'm not going to install this stereo jack on this guitar. I've got another one, a different kind of jack. This is a 2-point contact jack. Just grips onto the guitar cable a little stronger. Really just because. One of the issues that I have, I'm going to get to this a little bit more detail in a minute, but one of the issues I have with most guitars is that the hole that's drilled here for the jack, even though the jack itself, even though the jack itself fits nicely, once you get some soldering and wire in there, it gets really snug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that up a little bit more, and I'll explain that in a bit as well. Also from Iron Age, I got their Imperial Blue control knobs, which are stunning. This dot also is a glow-in-the-dark blue dot, but I don't play in the dark that much. But that just acts as the indicator for your levels. So I've got that for the 2 tone controls. So that's what I got from Iron Age. They also sent me a whack of really cool picks that I'm going to do a shootout on shortly, just to let you know how they feel. Third partner on this project is GraphTech, and GraphTech is well known for these things, which is the Black Tusk nut. And this is the one I was in conversation with Alex from GraphTech for quite a while, trying to sort out all of my measurements. This is the one that theoretically will fit on this guitar, and the reason we like these is because it's almost like a graphite. So the Black Tusk is almost like a combination between graphite and bone. They stay super slick. It's like I'm going to say this and you can giggle as much as you want, permanently lubricated nuts. Actually says that right there, permanently lubricated nuts. Okay, so they hold tune really well, they resonate extremely well. I just love these things. And we're doing the same thing, it's the same material on the saddles. So they've provided me with a Resomax bridge and tailpiece system. So it's the same material on here, so we won't have any binding or anything when we put the strings on. And finally, my personal favorite, use these on all of my guitar builds, ratio tuners. These are geared tuners and they have different gears for each string so that they all turn basically at the same rate, which is really cool, but they're super solid. I did not get the locking tuners. I haven't been convinced that locking tuners do better than regular tuners in terms of keeping things in tune. I don't experience slippage because I do a luthier's knot or a luthier's wrap when I wrap strings anyway, so I don't get slipping. So for me, these are going to do a pretty good job, just all on their own. These will fit any guitar, and this is a 3+3 set, so 3 top, 3 bottom, and I'm really looking forward to getting that put together. Finally, electronic upgrades. That is a Switchcraft 3-position switch. It's a T-shaped switch. Okay, and it's a little bit deceptive because usually when you have a switch you think it goes this way, kind of lengthwise, position 1, position 2, position 3, but in fact, I don't know if you can see it on here, it clicks to the side, which means it is much lower profile this way. We're going to use some Gorn's push-pull pots. I got these from Next Gen Guitar, by the way. And we're going to have to add some capacitors to them. So the reason for that is these don't come with capacitors on them. So this thing doesn't know that it's supposed to be a tone control. Okay, but what we're going to do with this tone control is we're going to set one up to split the pickups. So we'll be able to coil tap, we'll be able to get these to sound like single coils or humbuckers by using the push-pull pot. And the other one we're going to use as a high frequency roll-off. So it's going to actually let us cancel out some of that high frequency when it's in the pulled position. Okay. What this brings me to is the woodworking. Now, these guitars, they're quite well built. They're very sturdy. This is a set neck, so we're going to have to glue that in. We'll do that after we do most of the finishing work. What I don't like is this kind of blockiness. So first thing is we're going to put a little bit of a belly carve here on the back just to soften that a little bit. Okay. Second is, as I mentioned before, where the output jack goes down there. I'm going to take a Forstner bit, a 1-inch Forstner bit, and just open that up a little bit more so we have a little bit more room to play with the wires. Everything's going to be shielded inside as well, so we don't want to short anything. Then on the top, we have a tiny problem, which is the Resomax bridge is just a little bit too wide, the holes that are here. So what we're going to have to do is just widen these holes slightly. There isn't, because this is a tailpiece setup, okay, this fits fine. So because this is a tailpiece setup, the tension is on here. So the tension of the string going that way is on this one. It's not on this one. Here the tension is vertical. So it's not going to pull this one way or the other. And it's not going to pull this in this direction. It's only going to push down. So we can get a little bit, and we're talking about not even like the tiniest edge, just to be able to slip that in and get it locked in place. So that we have to do. Then I had a little bit of trouble fitting the switch, the 3-position switch, because where it normally goes is this hole. And if we flip this over, it butts up against the sides here. So solution one is to carve this out a little bit. There's lots of room for the cover plate here. So we can take, you know, a Forstner bit and just bore that down a little bit and lengthen this side of the hole. That will give us a little bit more room for this switch as opposed to this way. We kind of need it to go that way. But as I'm looking at the front and I'm thinking I need to put this kill switch somewhere, traditionally I would probably want to put it between these two holes. So these are the holes for the pots. Those also have to be made bigger, by the way. The bronze pots are slightly larger than the hole, so those will have to be opened up a little bit as well. So traditionally I would put it in here somewhere, but we don't have room. The hole on the back arches this way. You can see here. So this side is flat. That leads me to think maybe we'll have that switch in between these two holes. That's our selector switch for the pickups, right? And open up this hole to put the kill switch over here. That to me makes a little bit more sense because it's less woodworking in the control cavity. Things fit a little bit tighter here. This is off on its own, and this super thin little battery pack can sit comfortably in that cavity as well, right? So that's my thinking. And this gets tied to the jack more than to the knobs anyway. But if we put this in this position, then we have all the pickup stuff is here, and this one is off on the side a little bit of height here, so you can see what I'm talking about. Right? It's a little hard to visualize when everything is just floating on top, but I think that's a better solution. I'm going to play with it. These will need pretty much, not really the same sized holes, but they'll both need holes at some point, so we'll just, bore those in. And that's about it. Like, so really the process is going to be, I'm not going to drill for the strap buttons yet. I'm going to do that after the fact. But on this instrument, what we're going to do is we're going to do that woodworking. We're going to carve out that belly carve, widen up any holes that need widening, fit everything else as it needs to be fitted, take the back cover, the control cover, and carve it out for this little on-off switch, the LED, right? We'll get these things wired up separately while the finish is being done on this. And we're going to do an oil finish, like I always do, on the body, back and sides. And the top is going to have a really cool leather dyed finish. I think you're really going to like it. Let that cure up. While that's happening, we'll deal with the electronics. We'll deal with the neck, because we're going to have to do the same thing with the neck and the headstock. And then for my seal and possibly top coat, we're going with this stuff, the Epoxy finishing resin, which I've seen used a couple of times. It was a really great working time and a really great finish. Cures nicely, cures quickly, fairly easy to use, which I like. And we may then decide to top off with the spray epoxy, but we'll see how it buffs out. Yeah, and then we'll take it to the buffer and do all of that. Right, wire everything up, harness it, run the pickups, then we'll drill for the pickup screws. Let's see. Then we'll drill for the pickup screws after we've got the neck and the nut installed, so we can run the strings and make sure everything is nice and square. That's it. That's the process. I know that's a very quick overview on how to assemble a guitar from a kit using upgraded parts, but I mean, the upgraded parts, they're provided by sponsors and other partners. I gotta tell, I'm so excited to be working with PEGCITY. We're going to be using these on all of my custom guitars, not these specific pickups, but they have, Chris has pickups for practically every application. So we're going to be using those. I love working with the GraphTech stuff. Iron Age has just been fantastic getting stuff to me for this build. And of course, Solo Music Gear, absolutely amazing company to work with. Just getting these things started. These are prototypes for me. I work with them to design custom guitars. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward to getting started on this. It's still a little bit cold, but I can do some sanding and I can do some drilling. So that's where we're going to be starting in the next week or so on this one and on the Tele-style Outlaw guitar that we're using. So that's it for now. That's the tour. If you have any questions, comments, or anything else, let me know in the comments, and I'll put links to whatever I can in the description so you can see it. And yeah, just stay tuned, because this is going to be a really exciting build. Have a great day.